protection from epidemics. There is a huge danger of the rise of totalitarian regimes worse than anything we've seen before. In the 20th century, you had totalitarian regime that monitored what people were doing, but they couldn't go under the skin and monitor what people were actually feeling and thinking. This was absolutely impossible. They didn't have the technology or the computing power to analyze all the data. Now, for the first time in history, it is becoming feasible to monitor everybody all the time, and not just what we do, but even what we feel. You know, we have been hearing for many years about the rise of this surveillance, but most people still focus on what you can call over-the-skin surveillance. What you do, not what happens inside your body. Like, we already know that corporations and governments can know that you are now watching this show. And they can, if you watch BBC How Talk, they can deduce from that all kinds of things about your political views, about your artistic tastes, even about your personality. But this is still limited. They don't know yet what you're actually feeling as you're watching us. Do you think that I'm talking nonsense? Do you think that I'm correct and you're becoming very afraid? Are you bored and you're looking for the remote control to switch to another channel? They don't know that. But once you have under-the-skin surveillance, you can know that. Because emotions and feelings are biological phenomena, just like fever. The same technology, if you wear a biometric bracelet that constantly monitors your body temperature, your heart rate, your blood pressure, and other biometric data, it can know if you have fever, but it can also know if you're angry, or if you're joyful, or if you're bored. It's all biological phenomena.
Yes, and because this technology makes no real differentiation between the different aspects of what it can read about you, surely if we give up our right to privacy when it comes to our health, we are going to, in the end, give up our privacy when it comes to our thoughts and feelings as well, because they're on the same sort of physiological spectrum to a certain extent.
Not necessarily. I think I don't believe in technological determinism. I think it's very dangerous to believe that technology is deterministic. Once you can do something, it will be done. It doesn't work like this. In the 20th century, people used the same technology to build communist dictatorships and fascist regimes and liberal democracies. They all used trains, electricity, and radio, but in different ways. So this new surveillance technology that can go under the skin, it can do good things like improve our healthcare, and we can keep it focused on that and prevent its abuse. It can be prevented. First of all, if you establish a new surveillance system that monitors people's medical conditions, it should be an independent agency. Don't give it to the secret police like they did in Israel and like they did in several other places. This is not the business of the police.
I think for people around the world, they'll be fascinated if we make this quite personal, because in the past you've written and reflected on the degree to which in your own life, when you were young, a teenager, you didn't for a long time acknowledge that you were gay. I think you said as a teenager of 14, there were signals that you were perhaps sending to the world that you were gay, but you didn't even acknowledge it to yourself till you were, I think, about 21. That is, you know, you were basically more interested in pictures of men than women, but you didn't really want to know, and so you didn't discuss it with yourself. And in a sense, these days, had you been looking at a computer and had your feelings and your key taps been recorded, in a sense, social media platforms, the data collection services would have known you better than you knew yourself. And I just wonder, philosophically, whether that's a good place that we are taking our species or a very bad place.
It's a new place. I mean, again, it can do good things and it can do bad things. It's like, you know, it's like a knife. A knife you can use it to kill somebody. You can use it to save somebody's life, if you're a surgeon in hospital, and you can use it to cut salad. The knife doesn't care. Now we have this unprecedented technology to get to know people better than they know themselves. This can be very helpful to them, not only in healthcare, but in many other cases. Just think about, now that there is all this panic in the stock market. And you see the news, the stock market is down 8% in this morning. And you panic, and you immediately pick up the phone to sell your entire portfolio. Just imagine that you have an AI sidekick, maybe on your smartphone, which is monitoring the signals coming from within your body, from your brain, and recognizing that you are now in panic mode. And this is, a biological phenomenon. They're very easy to spot that. And the smartphone tells you, wait a minute, we know from so much research, this is not the time to make big financial decisions when you're in panic mode.
All right, well,
now, this is a kind of system that serves your interests. It collects data about what's happening in your body, not for the benefit of some corporation or government, but to serve you. And if it really works well, it can help you make much better decisions in life about your financial situation, about what to study, about whom to date.
No, it's a fascinating glimpse into a positive view of a brave new world. But I'm also very aware that right now, thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic, we also see so many people, including leaders of the world, from Trump to Bolsonaro to Salvini in Italy, many others too, who are peddling false information, fake news about different elements of this pandemic. Science, which you've just described, offering us the most amazing potentialities for the future, right now is being traduced. It is misinforming. I mean, we are being misinformed about the facts. How dangerous.